Hey, everybody. Welcome to Shift Change. This is episode 5. I'm your host, Jason Stanford. Let's get started. A couple housekeeping things. First of all, could not have anticipated the amount of support this show's gotten. So thank you very much to everybody. To everybody who stopped me in the hallway or on the street that says you're listening or you have listened and you found it. Man, this is great. Couldn't have asked for anything more. Episode 1 just hit 100 listens. That was my goal, is to have 100 listens each episode. And if I can get that, that's great. If I can't, it doesn't mean anything. I'm not making any money off it, but it was just a goal. It's important to have goals, right? So episode 1 just hit 100. Can't thank you guys enough. I had originally recorded episode 5 on Wednesday. I listened to it back. It was complete garbage. It was just junk. It was basically 20 minutes of an incomplete thought, and I couldn't figure it out. So I deleted it, forced myself to do this episode. I've had a good night's sleep. I had a cold plunge. I had a good conversation with MFC. I'm going to do 24.1 later. For those of you who don't know, the CrossFit Open started. If you're interested, I'll post my results on Instagram and see if you can beat it. I'm up for a challenge. Different things with the show. I've added some intro music that I hope you heard. There'll be some trailer music at the end of it. And then at the end of the trailer music, there'll be a short segment where it basically tells you guys every episode on how to reach me. The show address, email address, and Instagram page, that kind of stuff. Some tech updates. The microphone and the computer don't like each other, the software. So I'm recording episodes on my phone, building them on the laptop. Still using the microphone. The building platform that I'm using is going to go away in June, so I'm going to have to learn a whole new software. It's fine. I'll get it. It's no big deal. I'll figure it out. So that's what we're at with the show. I may have to fire my content creator. She turns 13 this month, and apparently, she keeps giving me this crap about school and volleyball and whatever. She's just not showing up to work. I may have to make some tough decisions in the company. I'll need to issue a public apology to a coworker the other night at Shift Change. I was less than kind for no reason. I can't figure out why I lost my shit, but I lost my shit. And it was not needed. I didn't need to do it, but I did it. And I can't still figure out why I did it. But anyway, it happened. I issued him a private apology that's been accepted, but I feel the need to issue a public apology. I did not live up to anything that I say that I'm trying to do in that moment. I will tell you this, though, that personal growth is like weight loss. Like, you have to think about it every second of every day. I have to be conscious of my actions and reactions, and this one got away from me, so I'm sorry. I got a message from the guy with the shithole garage the other day. His garage is still a shithole, so I'll keep you updated on that. Next week's show is a good one. It's my first guest. We'll see how that goes. He's a financial advisor, and he's going to talk to us about how we manage 401ks and 403bs and what they mean and what the difference between an IRA and a Roth IRA is, and how we make our money make us money. If you've recently been forced with the decision to keep your 401k with a new employer or roll it over to an IRA, and how we work towards retirement contribution percentages, things like that. Just general information that I don't know that all of us are aware of. I certainly wasn't when I was faced with the decision to take my 401k and roll it over or put it in an IRA. I had no idea. But now I do, and I feel like we need to share it. Let's get into today's episode, which is basically about how we show up at home and strategies to show up better. And I say that because how many of us really, before we get out of our vehicle at home after a shift, really take a accountability check, a systems check of how we feel, how we're doing, and how we're going to walk into the house. and how you're going to present yourself to your family, because it makes a difference and it sets the tone. Between the physical, mental, and emotional fatigue that we experience on our jobs, and we do. And if we don't, I think we're lying to ourselves. Like, our profession in public safety, and I will speak specifically on EMS because it's really all I know about, but it changes you. And if you tell me you're not changed after a 20-year career in EMS, then I think you're lying to me. And I say that only because that's my experience. I don't really have anything else to speak on. I've had different schedules. I've added kids. I've changed hobbies. I've decreased my social circle, like all things that have happened to me over the last 2 decades of this job is really all I can speak on. But I've also had lots of conversations with people. So not going to give you any answers really, but I'm just going to give you experiences, and I'm going to tell you what's worked and what hasn't worked. This topic's got lots of different segues. We're going to try to drill down on just a couple. Like, I think we can do multiple shows on mental, emotional, physical fatigue of our job and how we manage it. In the interest of time, we're just going to drill down on a few. I think 6. I came up with 6 things that can make our home life better while working in this job. So it doesn't matter if you do a 24-48 California swing, 36 on, 72 off, 48 on, 96 off, night shifts, day shifts. It doesn't matter. The one thing we all have in common, I think, is fatigue, whether that's emotional, mental, physical. Night shifts, coming home from a night shift, coming home from a 24, even a day shift. If you look at nursing, everything we do in our profession is exhausting in one way or another. Like, it just literally, it doesn't suck the life out of us, but it changes us. Like, we are in all 3 ways affected by how we've spent time, whether that's a day shift, night shift, or 24. And it's not easy to flip the switch when we get home. You would think it is. I mean, I have a 30-minute commute on my way home. You'd think that would be enough time for me to get out of my system whatever I've got in my system and walk in the back door and smile and say, like Ward Cleaver, and be like, "Hey, June, what's up? How are the kids?" And have the kids run up to you and give you a hug and all kinds of stuff. Nah, it's not even close. I've come into the back door before thinking that I'm fine, and my wife will look at me and be like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nah, nothing. Fine. Normal day." But she can tell the way I set my bag down, or the way I greet her, or the way I greet the kids, or what's the first thing I say when I walk in. Is it negative? Is it positive? She knows. And to my detriment, I just didn't take a deep breath before I walked into the door, and I said, okay, I'm going to come into this back door different when I greet my family. And that's just part of it. That's one of the trade-offs that we've done in our job. But that doesn't mean we can't get better at it. It's not easy to, clean up an interstate car accident and then come home and just start playing catch with your kid. Like, it's not. We do it, but, are we really doing it? Are we just going through the motions? What are we actually feeling, thinking at the time? And that's a different conversation for a different time. We develop habits for years of being in this job. And I've said this before, and I'm not going to get into that right now, but I'll give you one. I told you after the end of last shift, I eat fast. I do. It's just years of being on the job. Like, I want to get my food down before the tones drop. I don't cook food at the station anymore. It's all microwavable. 1 to 2 minutes, get it hot, man, get it in, and I feel like I've won. I've got a meal. Do we miss a lot of meals? Sure. There's been a lot of hot meals that have turned cold at the station or at the base. But one way that I try to fix that is I heat it up and I eat it fast. So when I'm at home with my family, I'm the first one done. If we go out to a restaurant, I'm the first one done. You lose some social circles, because you're never around, or if you are around, you're always tired. That's a trade-off of our job too, I think, or at least it's been the trade-off of mine. I see tragedy in everyday activity. That's just part of my job. It's just part that's changed me is I can look at innocent hot dog in a wrapper and see tragedy, because I've seen the tragedy. So I'm not asking for anybody to feel sorry for me. I'm just telling you, like, when we walk through the back door, we see things differently. Ideally, when we come home for a 24 or a night shift, we'd be able to just put our sleep mask on and go to bed for 3 or 6 hours, right? But that's not, clearly life doesn't work that way, right? If you've got small kids, your small kids are savages. They care nothing about that dad's tired. They just know that dad's home. And so how do you come into that? How do you show up for that when you know that's going to be the thing? And more importantly, maybe your spouse you've been gone for 24 hours and your spouse has been man in the house and tended to the kids, and they're both sick, and all they're looking for is for some help, and you show up walking through the door as a giant asshole. And how do you think that presents? Oh, it's great that you're home. I got an extra set of hands, but you're a jerk. So do I even really want you around? We'll talk about that. If there's work around your house that needs to be done, it doesn't care if you've been up all night or not. It just needs to be done. Your garage door needs fixed, right? Your refrigerator needs fixed. There's some landscaping that needs to be done. It doesn't matter. The work needs to be done, and it cares nothing about how you've spent your last 24 hours. The things that I've come up with are not like answers found in research. I have experiences through trial and error, right? Like, I consume what I think is good information, and I talk to people that I consider to be good people and have good conversations, and we've all kind of put things together through our life experiences in our professions. There's nothing more that I want than for you to be the best version of you, right? So you can show up for your family and your community and your job. I don't know what the best version of you is. I know what the best version of me is, and I'm just going to try to mirror that through this podcast. Sometimes that means taking an honest look at ourselves and being like, you know what? You were a jerk the other night at shift change, or you were a jerk when you came home. You didn't feel like you were a jerk, but you were a jerk because I could see it on my wife's face. That was probably a jerk. Or maybe my kids had some excitement in their eyes because daddy was home and I didn't acknowledge them the right way, and then they kind of looked defeated a little bit, which is a terrible thing to see in your child. But I need to identify those things, and it's hard to look at through that lens and be like, yeah, you know what? Change is hard. It's uncomfortable. But you know what? If you want to lose weight, you're going to have to spend a little time feeling hungry. It's just the way it is. So here's a few ways I found to mitigate stress and fatigue and to show up better at your home. Okay? Number one, your family dynamics are key. If you're married or gonna get married or have a live-in relationship, it doesn't matter. Don't work against each other. Work with each other. One of the things that I've realized that I think that I did early in my marriage is I was keeping score, right? So I would come home from a 24 and one person would be like, well, you were gone for 24 hours, so now this. And I would say, well, I was up for 24 hours, so now I get to go to bed. Or I've been with the kids all day on no sleep, so now I need to do this. And you went out with your friends and did this, and I took whatever. Who gives a shit? Stop it. Like, it's not a competition. I treated it like that early in my marriage. It was a competition to see whose story could benefit me the most. So if you're gone for 24 hours and your better half is struggling with a bunch of kids, and you come home and say, guess what? I didn't sleep at all last night, so now I get to go back to bed. Good luck with the kids. That's wrong, man. If you're a husband, father, you've got responsibilities. Show up and do them. Just do it. Like, nobody cares. It's part of the trade-off. Like, I don't think you get to, and I tried this. I was like, I get to go to bed because I was up all night and that's my job. No, show up, do the work, take the responsibility, find out what your spouse needs from you. And if it works out, you're just going to have to go back to bed later. You're just going to have to put it on the back burner. It's just the way it is. Like, you've got responsibility. It's as a man, you got to just do it. And it's something I didn't learn for a long time. I was trying to use my experience as leverage to gain something. Now, in my defense, it's not like the 24 hours was a vacation, but sometimes, early on in relationships and early on in raising kids, like it was a break. Like sometimes the easiest thing I could do was take care of somebody who was, sick or injured versus trying to manage a young family at home. But that's just part of growing up, I think. And part of maturing. If you need more time, just ask for it. Just be like, you just got to be upfront. Don't pussyfoot around the issue. Hey, I had a rough one. If it's okay in the next couple hours, I'd like to go back to bed and get a nap. Or is there something I can do for you right now since I just got home? And if it works out later, I would like to get some sleep. Just ask for it. Don't be passive aggressive. Don't throw a shit fit because you haven't slept. Just ask. And you know what? Handle your business. When you get home, there's shit that needs done. Do it. We all have to live with a little bit of discomfort sometimes, and sometimes that means being tired because that's just what we signed up to do. Number 2, declutter your days off. Say no to obligations that don't bring you any sort of satisfaction or joy. If you can, take a good inventory. If you have a second job, which is really easy to do in our profession, we have some time, and early on we're eager to get experience, and we want to do all the things, and maybe you want to end up somewhere and work somewhere full time, and the best way to get your foot in the door is to work part time for a while you're working full time somewhere else. I get it, but really kind of check the obligations you have to give that second job with training and meetings, and do you work on a service where you have a radio at home? I did early on in my career. I had a radio at home. It was a scanner, so even on my off days, I could hear the radio traffic and the tones, and it just eventually you get fatigued just from hearing that. And the best thing you can do on your days off is just shut it off, refocus on something else. So if you can on your days off, just shut your radio off. They don't need you. If their staffing model can't handle you not being there, then they need to change their staffing model. Cut out family drama. You don't need it. Cut out social media drama, mainstream media drama. Like, just don't put that shit on your TV. Don't consume that kind of stuff. It's hard enough. Life's hard enough without trying to listen to somebody else's problems a half a world away, or let the media scare you into thinking something that isn't real, or whatever. Like, we only get so much bandwidth every day. If you've been up all night, you're going to wake up with less bandwidth than if you wake up on a full night's sleep. So what you use that energy on matters. And you're going to struggle enough without listening to somebody else's sad story. Number 3, sleep when you need to. Hey, we've traded normal sleep cycles for having a Wednesday and a Thursday off. It's part of the trade-off. We're accumulating sleep debt as we go through our career. And there's just no way around it. If you've been up all night on a Monday, even if you get 6-7 hours of sleep on Tuesday and Wednesday, you're back in that sleep deprivation grind on Wednesday, and we're just accumulating sleep debt. But there's ways to mitigate it. So sleep when you can. If you can come home and take a nap with a sleep mask for 3 to 6 hours, it's like lowering your interest rate. You're just not going to accumulate sleep debt, as fast if you can take a nap. That doesn't mean come home and be lazy and lounge around all day and just say, well, I was up all night, so this is my excuse to basically stay in my bed all day and watch Netflix. You got work to do, especially if you're a husband and a father. You got shit to do. You got zero time to do that kind of stuff. So don't ignore your responsibilities just because you're tired. Daily habits matter. This is number 4. Your daily habits matter. What you eat, what you drink, how often you see the sun, when you see the sun, the conversations you you have with people, the people you interact with. It all matters. You can't sit around and eat shit, drink shit, and talk shit all day on your days off and expect to show up a certain way back to your job or with your family if all you're consuming is shit. Get up, see the sun, eat good food, drink water. We don't really know what feeling good feels like, I think, sometimes, because we're always accumulating sleep debt. So get your hormones checked. Maybe it's something that you can manage, right? Like, unless you've had a long stretch of days off and you're always in some sort of perpetual sleep debt, you may not know what feeling good feels like. So turn over every stone. What are you doing to optimize how you feel? Can't say it enough. Are you eating good, drinking the right stuff, consuming the right information? And if you're doing all that and you still feel off, presumably it's from the every third day or every fourth day or whatever, or the night shift. It takes a long time to recover from one random night shift. I do one random night shift every 3 weeks, and it could take me 2 or 3 days to recover from that one random night shift. So we may not know what good feels like. Just have your hormones checked. Go to the doctor, get your checkup, do your thing. Turn over every stone. Try to fix it. Number 5, have intention and purpose with your days off. Know what you want to accomplish and get it done. There's satisfaction in completing a project or completing a task or solving a problem. That will carry over to how you interact with your family and your friends and your community. If you feel accomplished, there's nothing better than solving a problem. Solve a problem. Don't seek pleasure, seek purpose. What do I mean by that? Listen, I like chocolate, but I can't spend all my day off just seeking that dopamine hit that chocolate gives me. I have to seek purpose. So you can sit around and drink booze and eat Pop-Tarts and binge watch Netflix, and you might think you feel good because of the dopamine hit, but you're just seeking pleasure, and that will never last over a career. Like, I don't think that kind of habitual practice will ever turn into anything good. Find a purpose. Find a hobby. Find something that you can pour yourself into. Find a project. Do something new. Like, learn something new. Whatever that is. Learn how to podcast. Learn how to work out. Learn how to fish for a certain species of fish. Like, learn how to read books. I don't know, whatever. Just find a purpose in your days off that will carry over to how you show up to your friends and family and your job. Number 6, and this is the last one, and this is one that I kind of had to, I kind of picked up from another podcast, and that is like, find your guy or gal that is your go-to person because they understand whatever business you're in, whatever lifestyle you're in, whatever trial you're in, because they've had it too, right? Because they are experiencing it or have experienced it with you. Somebody that you can call up and have a 1-hour conversation that probably should be a podcast, and next time it happens, I should hit record. And you just get into the weeds about a lot of cool stuff about how to try to figure out life. From the healthcare industrial complex to something as dumb as how to fix your garage door or whatever, all in the same conversation. Like, your go-to person. I don't believe, my personal opinion, and this is going to cause some controversy, I'm sure, that my wife should be that person. I do not believe that my wife should be my best friend. I'm trying to build an empire here, and that meaning my house, my kingdom, what I do. I'm not trying to get in touch with my feminine side. And I feel like sometimes if we just babble uncontrollably to our spouses, that we project that vulnerability that I don't think that we're interested in uncovering. But I will call up my pal and be like, listen, I just went through this on a flight and I don't really understand what's going on with me right now. Or I just blew up at my kids for no reason. Help me understand why I just did this. Solve the problem, move forward. Does that make sense? I don't necessarily think that my wife, God bless her, as wonderful as she is, I don't know that I think I should tell her how I feel every minute of every day. I just don't think that's how it should work. But that's just my opinion, and if you want to do a whole show on that, I will. Listen, they don't teach you how to navigate this lifestyle in school, right? They teach you how to deal with heart attacks and strokes and traumatic injuries, and if you see this, do this. But what they don't teach you is how to navigate life outside of this profession, how to deal with your sleep deprivation, how to deal with your emotional, mental, physical fatigue, and how that shows up in your house. I don't know of any other platform that will do that for you except for this one. If there is, I think they probably do I hope they do a great job. I don't know of one. I have not uncovered one in 21 years of doing this, other than having conversations with friends. So if I'm missing anything, let me know. If there's more of this you want to uncover, let me know. I'm happy to talk about anything you want to hear me talk about. Some topics I think are better in conversation with a guest, and certainly working on that. We'll get there, guys, I promise. This is just general stuff. I feel way better about this episode, this version of episode 5 than the last one. The last one was garbage. 2 random thoughts before I go. Number 1, protein balls don't really have any protein in them, so just stop it. Like, knock it off. You're having a cookie and a ball and then passing it off as a healthy snack. Don't do it. Number 2, if your doctor says you're tired all the time because you're getting old, you need to find a new doctor. Like, he or she clearly graduated at last of their class, and they don't deserve your time. So just stop going to them. That's all for this week. You'll hear some trailer music. Afterwards, you'll hear me talk about where you can find me on the internets. That's it for now. Work hard. Be kind. Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Shift Change Podcast. As always, look for updates on our Instagram page at talk.shiftchange on Instagram, and email me with any questions, problems, concerns at talkshiftchange@gmail.com. Thanks, everyone.